from News Channel 8. Your news, first at 4, starts now.
Coming up, youth violence is high in Tulsa, and 2 organizations are working to find a way to stop it. The report released shedding light on the city's youth legal system. Plus, the fight for Native citizenship among the Muskogee Creek Freedmen could be decided as soon as tomorrow, while the Black Creek Coalition says they should have citizenship. We begin with a breaking news update. Tulsa police have released information on the suspect they believe is responsible for this morning's homicide in East Tulsa. Police are searching for this man, 28-year-old Isaiah Torres Jr. He's accused of stabbing a woman at a home near East 41st Street South and South 129th East Avenue. Investigators say the woman was found with stab wounds and bruising. They say someone drove her to the hospital where she later died. Police say Torres is considered armed and dangerous. If you see him or have any information on his whereabouts, you're being asked to call 911. 2 local organizations are shedding light on the racial disparities in Tulsa's youth legal system. Youth Services of Tulsa and Tulsa Dream Center releasing a report finding Black youth are arrested at a rate 5 times that of white youth. Those findings were based on the 2021 Tulsa Equity Indicators. The organizations say that they wanted to share this information with the community and have teens come up with solutions to help.
The numbers are really alarming, and one of our goals is to put together a system map to figure out who's all serving our young people within our city. And as we put those things together, bring all those people to the table and find out the gaps and how can we really serve our boys and girls to the best way possible.
Some goals that were included, that were shared, include expanding support services for high-risk teens and their families.
Now, let's go outside on the News Channel 8 weather deck, sponsored by Wade's RV.
Here on the Wade's RV weather deck, it is chilly. Got my jacket on, but nothing like what we had yesterday when the winds were up around 30 miles per hour. Let's take a look at those temperatures. Remember, yesterday we made 70. Then the front started coming in. Right now we're sitting at 43, but without wind and sunshine, doesn't feel half bad out here compared to yesterday. Right now, oh, what a difference on those winds. Now it's 6 miles an hour, 8 miles an hour in Okmulgee. Winds will be fairly light for tonight. We are watching a system that's out to the west. That'll spread some high clouds into the area as we get into tomorrow. But still tomorrow, a warmer day with a south wind returning up around 10 to 20 miles per hour out there for this evening. 40s becoming 30s as early as 8 o'clock, so you'll need a jacket out and about. We're tracking warmer weather. The winds pick up later in the week, and the rain chances are still in there. Pretty good chances. I'll have all the details on that coming up.
New at 4, a judge tomorrow could decide whether Muskogee Creek Freedmen should have all the rights of Native citizens. It's a battle that started in 2020 when a petition was filed against the Muskogee Nation Citizenship Board for violating the Creek Treaty of 1866. Now, that treaty guaranteed that freedmen and their descendants should have all the rights of Native citizens. That changed, though, in 1979. The Justice for Black Creek's Coalition says that has cost Black Creeks their sense of identity, voting rights, and as well access to federally funded programs.
We are citizens of the nation. We were removed from that nation. Our family members fought. They fought for us to be able to stand here today, for us to be able to attend college and become attorneys, to work in corporate America, be architects and different things like that. So we have a responsibility to fight as long as we can.
A rally is planned for tonight at 6:30 at the Greenwood Cultural Center. The hearing is set for 10 a.m. tomorrow. Cherokee Nation Chief Chuck Hoskin Jr. spent the day in the nation's capital as part of the White House. He spent the day in the nation's capital as part of the White House Tribal Leaders Summit. Tribal leaders and federal officials spoke about ways to strengthen ties. Hoskin spoke about the importance of saving the native languages and shared how it's become his tribe's largest investment to protect and produce speakers.
We want everyone in the Cherokee Nation to be on the mission to save the Cherokee language. I mean, that's so important. I mean, the truth is most Cherokees are like their chief. They don't speak Cherokee. And we have 441,000 citizens and only 2,000 fluent speakers left.
Cherokee Nation opened up a language center earlier this month and launched a new speaker services program. A landmark Supreme Court case involving race, family, and adoption of a Native American foster child could upend the more than 40 years of protection for American tribal nations. Since 1978, the Indian Child Welfare Act has set rules for who can adopt Native American kids, giving preference to tribal families. A white couple is fighting to keep their family together and finalize the adoption of a Native American girl that they fostered for years. They say the law is unconstitutional, discriminating against them because of their race. But tribes argue the law promotes the stability and security of tribes and families.
We're not saying that culture is not important. We do believe culture is important, but it's not the most important thing.
Being American Indian is not a racial matter, it's a political matter. We're members of tribal nations that are sovereign nations.
The Supreme Court is expected to make a decision on this case next June. Turning to health news now, where a new study shows COVID-19 really stressed us out at work. And as medical reporter Liz Bonis explains, it's continuing to impact our health.
Hey there, everybody. This new study examined the impact of workplace stress, and it provides a few ways for employers to make your office or your workspace a little bit of a healthier environment.
Researchers surveyed more than 700 workers across the U.S. in the pandemic and asked about stress during COVID-19 in professions such as healthcare, education, labor, and service. One of the most interesting finds?
People had reported an increase in workload since the start of COVID, regardless of what their job was.
Thomas Girding of Ohio's University of Cincinnati helped conduct this survey. He says they also wanted, however, to find out how the stress of COVID-19 at work was impacting a worker's health. So they also asked workers to submit saliva tests that were taken throughout the day. Those saliva tests measured a hormone in the body called cortisol.
When you feel stress, your body releases cortisol.
What did you actually discover then happens in the body?
If you were to document, let's say a level 5 stressor event occurred, you know, you got in a car wreck on the way to work and then your boss yelled at you, for example, that would warrant a greater increase in cortisol levels compared to, you know, a more easy day, so to speak.
The hope is that this study, just published in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health, will remind employers that in this transitional COVID-19 time, even in employees working from home, things have changed.
There was about 23% of those respondents that we had asked said that they felt a decrease in performance, and 21 felt an increase.
And all of us are recovering from COVID-19 stressors in some way as it transitions back.
Now, previous research has also shown that cortisol, that stress hormone, can impact everything from waist weight to heart disease. I'm medical reporter Liz Bonis. Now back to you.
The flu, COVID-19, and RSV have similar symptoms. So how do you figure out which illness you could have? A runny nose, cough, congestion, or sore throat. Could be any of those sicknesses, but with the flu, you're more likely to get muscle or body aches and develop symptoms faster. COVID-19 is more commonly associated with a loss of taste or smell. Wheezing is a typical sign of RSV, an illness that children or older adults usually get. Now, the only way to know for sure is to be tested. OG&E are warning customers about a phone scam in our area. We'll tell you how to protect yourself and the warning sign that you need to look out for. And attorney generals across the state are challenging new policies created by UPS and FedEx involving gun purchases. Why our attorney general believes a new policy will affect the safety of gun purchases.
Next Jeopardy! Chris Panullo has won.
Here's a live look at the Broken Arrow Expressway from our A-Best Roofing Live cameras. People head home for the day. Now, if you need to fill up, according to AAA, the current average for regular in our area is $2.83. OG&E officials are warning of a potential phone scam. They say the scammer will tell customers that they need to make an immediate payment or their electricity will be cut off. However, OG&E says it will never call a customer to issue a cutoff notice or demand immediate payment. The company's security team is investigating, and if you believe that you've been targeted by scammers, you're being asked to hang up and call OG&E. John O'Connor and 17 other state attorney generals are challenging new policies created by UPS and FedEx involving gun purchases. The policy requires federal firearm license holders to separately ship and track firearms, firearm parts, and products. O'Connor says he believes the data from gun purchases could be used or shared by those companies. The group is requesting additional information, including whether they coordinated with a federal agency. Still to come, Congress takes a step to stop a rail strike. Find out if the bill will pass with bipartisan support when we return.
There's literally something for everyone in this forecast. We'll talk about some cold mornings, warmer afternoons. We need rain. That's also in the forecast. I'll break down the details coming up.
Oklahoma weather causes the power to go out.
Welcome back. House lawmakers approve a bill today to avert a rail strike. The measure passed 290 to 137. It now heads to the Senate. President Biden called on Congress to step in. Lawmakers have the power to impose a compromise labor agreement. The House is going with the deal initially brokered by Biden that 4 unions rejected. Lawmakers also voted to add paid sick leave, but it's not clear if the Senate will take up that measure. A rail strike could have an extreme effect on the economy.
Jobs will be lost, even union jobs will be lost. Water will not be safe. Product will not be going to market. It is, we could lose 750,000 jobs, some of them union jobs. That must be avoided.
The bill is believed to have bipartisan support in both chambers, although lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have shown reluctance to get involved. A new report shows a record number of shoppers over the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. According to a National Retail Federation survey, more than 196 million Americans shopped in stores and online between Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday. That's nearly 17 million more people than 1 year ago. Black Friday was the biggest day for buyers, particularly for online shoppers, at more than 87 million people, and nearly 73 million people shopped in stores on Black Friday. Congressman Hakeem Jeffries will become the new House Democratic leader. Party members voted during a closed-door meeting today. 52-year-old Jeffries will be the first black person to hold a top party leadership position in the House or Senate. Democrats say it's time to get younger.
I mean, it signals that the future is bright. You know, we've always talked about for a long time about a generational shift. Our caucus is younger. And so to have younger-ish leaders is important.
Jeffries is taking over for House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who chose to step away. He says he's committed to giving more power to committee members, as well as give junior lawmakers more say in legislation. A Christmas display at the Oklahoma State Capitol is honoring those who will not be coming home for the holidays. Students at Broken Arrow Public Schools Vanguard Academy worked with Survivor Outreach Services Oklahoma to create a display honoring the state's fallen heroes. Students engraved the names of 388 fallen Oklahoma service members on gold wooden stars. The stars honor those military members who died between 1990 and 2022. The tree will be on display between November 29th through December 15th. A major donation from one of the largest tech companies in the world is helping spark additional interest in STEM careers in Stillwater. Google recently donated $250,000 to OSU to support elementary, middle, and high school outreach programs. Organizers say the donation will be divided between OSU Center for Health Sciences and the College of Engineering, Agriculture, and Technology. Some of the funding will also help create 4 additional summer camps in rural communities to help spark an interest in science and engineering in young students. In other news, 2 people were killed north of Montgomery, Alabama, after tornadoes ripped through the deep south overnight. Several homes were damaged, a fire station destroyed, and a roof ripped off an apartment complex. High winds downed power lines, and rain fell for several hours in some areas, with 5 inches, creating flood hazards. Residents described the strong winds picking up very quickly.
Yeah, we're about to sit down and eat, and wind started hitting. We tried to got to a safe place as fast as possible, and as soon as we got there, it was over.
I made it into what I call a safe room, and by the time I got there, it was over. It might have lasted maybe 15 seconds.
So scary, and look at that damage there. The National Weather Service says some states that were impacted last night might actually be seeing thunderstorms this evening.
From the Oklahoma Ford Storm Center, your first warning forecast, certified as Tulsa's most accurate weather.
That same storm system that caused the severe weather in the southeast brought us the colder air, and then late last night, a little band of snow. You gotta look close to see it. Not all of it reached the ground right there. We'll reset it. Came across parts of northern Oklahoma, rapidly moved out. By midnight, it was certainly all over, but we did have some snow. In fact, somebody took the time to chime in a picture of that. We appreciate that. Andy Creech from the Bartlesville area. You can see some light blowing snow. Didn't stick to the ground, didn't last long, but we did have some snow late last night. And then that colder air plunged into the area, even a freeze down in deep southeast Oklahoma. But let me highlight out across parts of Cimarron County. Kenton had 6 degrees, not the wind chill, the actual air temperature. Somebody asked me a couple of weeks ago, why is it already so cold up there? Well, it has a lot to do with the elevation. Not everything, but the elevation out there is surprisingly very, very high, up around 4,300 feet above mean sea level. So compare that to Tulsa. Well, Tulsa is around, well, the Mesonet side is 686 feet above sea level. So again, a big difference also out to the west. So our temperatures now mostly in the 40s across the area. We've got mainly a clear sky and the winds are relatively light. Temperatures 43 in Claremore, Sapulpa at 45 degrees. So it's been nippy all day long. Our temperature, look at the difference. Southeast Oklahoma right now, the temperature is nearly 30 degrees colder than it was at this time yesterday. So why isn't it colder up to the northwest? Well, by 4 o'clock yesterday, the front had already come through and the temperature was already dropping, but southeast Oklahoma was ahead of that front by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. All right, high pressure scoots off to the east. South winds return in for tomorrow. Not bad in the morning, but in the afternoon, those winds will pick up around 10 to 15. Could even see a gust close to 20 miles an hour. I think we'll be looking at mostly sunny skies, more cloud cover down in southeast Oklahoma. There is a chance for some developing rain as we get into Thursday night and Friday morning, mainly limited to extreme southeastern Oklahoma. That moves out. Another front comes in. This initially dry. That'll hold the temperatures down on Saturday. Again, a chance for a few scattered showers, but then a wave out to the west will be coming in. The data today shows it taking a little bit more of a southern route. I do think we'll get some rain out of this thing on Sunday into early Monday, but I don't think it's going to be nearly as much as what we could have had because, again, right now it's tracking a little bit further to the south and the southeast, so we'll keep an eye on that. But a big warm-up coming up on Friday. Would you look at that? 67, but very windy. Then clouds and roll in here for Saturday and Sunday. Back up to 63 before we take another dip. That's what you hit in December. You get these big swings in the temperature. You get teased by some 60s, then it doesn't last very long. 33 degrees on the MetroCast. By morning, not as cold, 28 in the morning. By the afternoon, let's call it mostly sunny, 54, the high temperature. So our temperature dipping down into the teens and the 20s up in Washington County. The afternoon temperature, well, it'll be tempered by the clouds. High clouds will be streaming in, some cirrus clouds. We're looking at temperatures up around 54 degrees. That's the high temperature, but I'll forecast a windy 67 on Friday. And there's the weekend. The front comes in. It'll knock us down to 48 Saturday. Higher chance of rain Sunday into early Monday. We do have that chance of rain. And then for next week, a little unsettled. Low chance of rain in there. Temperatures not extremely cold, but we're looking basically at the first 10 days of December, Brenna.
Where does the time go?
Just like that. It flew right by.
It's crazy.
It is.
We just need to start talking about snow for Santa.
There you go. Not yet, though.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to. No, don't panic.
Not yet.
Only 3 episodes of Tulsa King have been released, and the show has just announced some big news. We'll tell you what it is after the break.
Can't wait.
Cold weather is on the way, so you should have
Well, we hope that you will join News Channel 8 this holiday season to help children in our area help ensure that they have a very Merry Christmas. On Friday, we'll be collecting toys for the Salvation Army Toy Drive at the Mattress Firm location. That's on 71st Street across from Woodland Hills Mall. You don't even have to get out of your car. Just drive up. We'll grab those toys from you. I will be there, and as well too, Mark. We'll have other personalities there as well from 7 in the morning until 6:30 at night. The television series Tulsa King has been renewed for a 2nd season. The announcement being made on the show's Facebook page today. The new series stars who else? Sylvester Stallone. We've been telling you about this for a long time. It was shot here in Tulsa and Oklahoma City. There's no word, though, on when production will start. if maybe they'll be back again shooting here in Tulsa. We hope so. That's great for the local economy and great for our city.
Now, you say you've not seen it yet,
No.
but your fiance has. Okay, I have seen the first 2 episodes. I liked it. I thought the second episode was better.